Johanna will be presenting as a fellow volunteer from the OHBN Open Science Special Interest Group, and we'll have a joint question session at the end for the two of you. So Johanna is a postdoctoral fellow at the Donders Institute for Brain Cognition and Behavior in the Netherlands. Her research focuses on the development, training, and testing of normative models of features derived from large neuroimaging datasets. She is also engaged in various open science activities, such as the Turing Way, the NASA TOPS curriculum, as I mentioned, the Open Science Special Interest Group, and ReproNim. She's also an editor at the Journal for Open Source Software. So welcome, Johanna. We're excited to hear from you.
Yeah, thank you, Mary. So my section of the talk will focus more on like short-term volunteering. Just about me, you've basically mentioned most of it. So by daytime, I train large neuroimaging datasets on or machine learning models on large neuroimaging datasets, and by nighttime, I do a variety of open science things. You've mentioned like most of them. I also do teaching with the Digital Research Academy. That's kind of an association that teaches open science. I also co-organize a podcast where I'm the researcher behind the questions, and I'm somehow still, so I lived in Australia for a while where I met Sina actually. I'm still secretary of the RSC Australia ASA chapter. I've moved here a year ago, so yeah, this is also still going on. And then I have pet projects, for example, Physio with Lars, and this is my cat, in case you didn't know. So I wanted to start with a working definition of volunteering. So we are on the same basically level. So volunteering is for me an activity to the greater benefit of a group of people or the world that one undertakes that is not directly or visibly associated with material rewards. So I would say volunteering is more internally motivated. And I also wanted to differentiate volunteering from another term that I just recently learned, which is hope labor. And which might actually look like volunteering, but hope labor, in contrast to volunteering, is an activity that one undertakes in the hope that it will lead to a significant reward, although this has never been specifically communicated. So basically anything that you undertake, for example, if you undertake a project and you hope that this will lead to a PhD position, but you just hope. I wanted to encourage you to basically always check, is what I'm doing actually hope labor or is it volunteering? Because I think that especially hope labor can lead to more burnout and also more disappointment afterwards. I wanted to also tell you a bit about tips and tricks that I have gathered throughout my volunteering journey. So I'm not an expert, and I think my, what I've achieved is that I'm still here and I'm still smiling. So that should be the benchmark. The first thing I would recommend is to check your motivation. I think volunteering should be internally motivated. So check, does it spark joy? Is it fun? And the way should be the goal. And I've also added little real life examples of things that I've done. For example, I often sign up for things that I find really interesting. For example, I recently signed up to create a course on how to create a personal website because I find it really interesting. I would also recommend looking for things that are your strength or that would provide easy wins. For example, volunteering something that you're really excited about, that is something that you want to learn, or that you're really passionate about. And also, in my opinion, you should also check for activities that you already do, because I think volunteering can have many phases. Personally, I would always recommend working with people, but volunteering can also be to create a YouTube channel and educate the world about your topic, write a blog or mentor. And for example, I was really interested in AI, so I signed up for helping organizing an AI day here at the campus. Another suggestion that I have is to maximize your returns. And although I said that volunteering should be internally motivated when you start volunteering, I think there's nothing against it that you maximize what you get out of it. So definitely talk about it. It will give you visibility, and try to maximize your visibility in what you do. Write blog posts, definitely put it on your CV. and also use the network that you generate and create for recommendations. Similarly, use the community that you get access to. And like I said, make it fun. So make it something that you want to do. This is also a real life example. So for this presentation, I checked out this new framework to generate PowerPoint presentations. It's called Quarto. I also basically loaded the presentation into a GitHub repository it's also now on Zenodo, and I've created a DOI to make it citable and make it visible, basically. Then share wins and work in a community. So I would also recommend to work with others. It can reduce the load on you. It's more fun, and it will broaden your network and also your horizon. So for example, we've talked about the touring way already. So they organize book dashes every semester, basically, or every half year, where you can work with people in a sprint on a chapter of your choice, on topic of your choice. And although this is literally on top of your work or of my work, basically, I really enjoy this, and it's because of the community of the people that I meet there. Similarly, I would recommend that you minimize friction and losses. So if you realize that an engagement does not serve you anymore or doesn't fit in your life anymore, I think there speaks nothing against it that you either stop it entirely or at least pause it and evaluate, you can later evaluate it and then start it again, but like there's nothing against stopping volunteering. Similarly, communicate your feelings with your community. I've done that. For example, when I moved from Australia to Europe, I stopped a lot of things and people were very understanding of that. Take care of yourself. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So basically, you need to make sure that you enjoy the moment, because otherwise you won't last. I would also encourage you to set boundaries. So if it gets too much, let people know. And make yourself heard. For example, I have migraines a lot, so from staring at the screen for a long time, sometimes in the evenings, I just cannot focus anymore because my head hurts. So then I cancel all my meetings. And similarly, I enjoy exercising, and I would prioritize my health and also the health of my cat probably over my volunteering. Then also take time to reflect. So have a regular schedule of thinking about your volunteering activities. Do they still fit? Are they still fun? Also take time to be proud of yourself, see what you've already achieved, and adjust your future volunteering practices based on that. And then also think about, so sustainability can also be for others, not only for you. So this could be, for example, that you choose Zoom invites over travel, so that will be sustainable for the environment. You share the time zone load, which is, I've lived in Australia for a while. That's very dear to my heart. And then you can also focus on project with a sustainable outcome. For example, open science would be something in this category. And then just very quickly, some challenges and rewards that I have experienced along my journey. So like I said, I lived in Australia for a while, which made it really, really hard to contribute internationally because sometimes people are just not so much willing to share the time zone load. Another thing is that, at least for me, my volunteering often happens after a day of work. So that means that after a 9 to 5 of my research, I go to what I call my 5 to 9, which is the stuff that I do on the side. And if you're really lucky, which I actually am, you can basically borrow time from my work, which I'm doing now. I'm giving this talk, it's actually not part of my work, and I make it up later. But you might also be unlucky and you really have to do it after your work. So this can be definitely stressful. And then, you can also just end up adding deadlines for yourself, like more deadlines, because now you have volunteering deadlines. That can also sometimes make it hard to prioritize. Like, do I want to prioritize the talk that I need to give for volunteering or the talk that I need to give as part of my work? I will be standing in front of people anyway. So like, where do I make the sacrifices, basically? And then, the rewards. I have learned a lot, definitely, through volunteering, and it has definitely boosted my career. It has given me a lot of visibility. And then also what is really interesting, like sometimes you sign up for like a volunteering thing because you're really interested in it, but you end up getting something out of it. Like I've definitely gotten like book vouchers or flowers. Usually sometimes you get like something physical, which is not what you expected, but also really nice. Yeah, of course, I'm in a lot of communities and networks, for example, the Open Life Sciences or the Turing Way, and I've gained a lot of collaboration opportunities and friends. And then finally, I wanted to also focus on actual results, which is also a really nice side effect of volunteering, is that you actually create something with people. So for me, it's like the paper that I edited as a JOS editor that have my name on them as editor. Chapters that I've written in the Turing Way, the AI Day at campus that definitely happened. I created a Git course because I was really interested in it that many people have taken. Brainhack Global each year, the podcasts, and I've mentored a bit. And yeah, so I think this was my very quick course through volunteering. Is there anything else? No. Okay, that's it from my side. Thank you.